It's weird because I feel like you're accepting a duty, but you're accepting the duty to put pay to something, just to say, no more. I've had enough. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for the sign of Capricorn for February 2020, or whenever you're led to it, if the headline grabs your attention. Being a general reading, of course, timing's not absolute. Roles can be reversed. I can say you're doing something, but it's somebody else doing that to you, or vice versa. And with my readings, the readings either are for you or they're not. And as we discuss the past and the present, or more often the present and the past, then you'll be able to tell whether this is for you or not for you. It's a job lot. You either take the lot or you don't. However, what I would like you to do is before I bring up the cards, ask a question. Focus on all of the questions that are around you. Take a moment to observe them all. Choose one of them and focus on it. Because basically, energy in, energy out. And the more you focus, hopefully the more you'll get out of the reading. However, be aware of all of the questions because the cards will answer whatever they please to and not necessarily what you or I would think would be the highest priority. But that's spirit and that's all this stuff for you. So, without any further ado, let me just bring up the cards. If the computer will listen to me. No. There we go. Right. So we have the present, so recent present, almost here present, the relevant past, a future, not the future, a future, almost like astrological forces, and then the sidebar lifted out of the Celtic cross and a huge pile of oracle cards, which you'll see my shuffle video in a moment going into that. And speaking of which, I switch camera again, and my shuffle video will appear here. Right, so how I see that you're feeling at the moment, Capricorn, it's almost like you're taking on a duty. I have a divine pairing as how you're feeling. So we've got King of Swords, Queen of Swords, and interestingly, Ten of Swords. Now, what I'm getting from this is that you are having to change your shape, change a lot, change a lot about how you appear to the world, how you are wanting to interact with the world, on the light of trying to manifest something and receive wisdom and be a tool of that wisdom that you receive. But you are also accepting a duty that is weird because I feel like you're accepting a duty, but you're accepting the duty to put pay to something, just to say, no more, I've had enough. Because a situation appears to have come to its head recently where it has opened up a new direction for you. Not a new beginning, just a new direction, maybe changing tack slightly. And I feel that there are... Well, one thing that was important is rules. We had the Hierophant on the bottom of the middle clarification deck. I think the Hierophant appeared right in the distant past. We've got the Emperor here. So very much about rules, about control. I think there's a time where you've very recently gone, enough, because we've got Ten of Swords here, Ten of Swords here. You're beginning to assert your authority in the way that you know how, and in a new way that you're learning to know, because things have been changing pretty fast recently, but you've been left on your own to defend everything that is precious to you, everything that is yours. But it's almost like you've been storing something away as a secret treasure to use now. And I believe that this is the inspiration that you've maybe not received. It's more like that you are receiving at the moment. I mean, not through me, well, maybe through me, but that is appearing in your life right now at the point of the reading. Well, the present here, anyway. That you know that you've got to change. The world is coming round to, well, not the world, the stars is coming round to change things for you. And you're like, okay, yeah, I can be this person. I'm sure I can be this person. Are you really sure, spirit, family, whoever, that you want me to be this person? Because it offers you a rebirth, but it opens up a side of your nature, almost a warrior side of your nature, but also it's quite a sacred thing. You've had a lot of cause to take this path. I think there may have been some form of emotional cost that has led you to go, right, that's it. I need to, I don't even want to say put my foot down. It's not put your foot down, it's declare your territory, declare what is yours, declare, yes, declare your own power, because you are needing to concentrate on your homestead, on your own power, on your own skills, rather than having outside forces come in and disturb things. We've got the Five of Wands. There's a great debate going on around you at the moment. I think that's also an internal debate on your side. Magician and King of Pentacles. Progress is slowish, but it's not that you need to. It's not that you need to go anywhere. It's that you need to change. Oh, how do I phrase that? You need to change where you are, but you are changing where you are without moving. So you're not changing your location, as in where you are. You are changing your environment, i.e., reshaping your environment. That's it. Language doesn't work at times, does it? But you will find, here's positive for you, Eight of Pentacles doing the same thing again and again and again and again and again. And what I'm feeling from that is you've made this decision to change, which you was inspired to, and you are having to put your shoulder to the wheel. You're having to almost do the same thing over and over and over again, but each time you are protecting a little bit more, and each time you're adding a little bit more magic to the situation. But there are things that you have to be seen to be able to cut away. I don't think you have to cut them away. You simply have to be seen to be able to. And then we've got the Tower. So all this protecting that you've done recently is about shoring up your own foundations, this changing your environment so that it acts in the way that you require it to, is all about building sound foundations. Because there's a cause that there's been a driving force in all this situation, and it's something that you want to dissuade other people from. So I've got the Eight of Cups here, which can be you walking away from a dream, but it's not. It's you leading someone else away from a dream that they were maybe not their best idea. You know, I think that's the best way to put it. Maybe not setting their best foot forward. And you can offer them something else when once you get them to go, oh, there's another way. It's a very parental, but then again, I see Capricorn as fairly parental. I mean, it is the mother sea goat. You need to, people see Capricorn as a masculine sign, and to a point it is. And they see it as the sign of the goat, but remember it's the sign of the mer goat. It's also a sign of, if I remember, it was the goat that Zeus suckled upon. It was while he was a baby and hiding in the cave. It's a goat that wanted its aquatic children not to necessarily go onto land and forget who they were. So there's a huge parental theme with Capricorn. And it's almost like you are pulling someone back, going, you really don't want to do this. And if you do this, I will cut you out. I don't want to cut you out. I don't need to cut you out if you don't do this. And all you've got to do is sway them to a slightly new direction. Bear in mind, this can all be talking about you. And you could be the one who is getting cut out. And you can be the one or not. And you could be the one that maybe needs to change the direction slightly, but you are acting on inspiration at the moment, but a new dream will be presented to you or by you. And I am thinking more by you than to you, for whoever I'm reading for. But the Wheel of Fortune wants everybody, and that might mean you as well, once everybody is just slightly veering off the course they were on to somewhere a little better, or a little less confrontational. Okay, we've got the Strength card clarified by the Strength card and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it's almost like you've got to be knocked off the rails, or somebody else has got to be knocked off their rails for all of you together to move forward in a new direction where initially you're not quite sure where you're heading to, but the minute you set foot on that, you can see, so if we're here, that's going to lead us there, and that's going to lead us there, and you get a longer vision. There's a certain amount of a step forward into the unknown, and then once you step onto the next step, the pathway ahead lights up a little, so you can see a little further where you're going. Like going down corridors with automatic lights, you can only see so far, but the minute you step into the next section, the next whole section of corridor lights up. Now, these are big plans, but you have to be careful about being too defensive over them, because I think that there is assistance that can come to you from somewhere, but you need to make sure that everybody is on board and not just simply being dragged along. You need to plan and listen to the wisdom that comes through. And when I'm saying the wisdom that comes through, it's your own gut. Let's have a look at the oracle cards, because some flipped over in the shuffles. One is creative ideas come to me at any time. I'm always ready to receive them, as an affirmation. So yes, your imagination and your planning mind and your intuition, inspiration is going to start working on overtime, as long as everybody gets knocked very slightly off the angle that they were going on. I am grateful for my body moving. It feels good. So yes, there is an amount of physical work here that, like I say, Strength card clarified by the Strength card, there is work to be done that you will need that strength for. And you are card number 5 from the Mystic Shaman Oracle, I think. The Beloved. So yeah, you are working with others, you are working in tandem with others, and for the right reasons. So you might have been drawing them back, or they're drawing you back. But it's about time for you to set on this new direction. Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And we also have Bast and Artemis with Independent and Guardian. And I'm seeing that as Independent Guardian. You are looking after somebody, hence that parental feel to the energies here. And you are trying to make sure that they step on the right path. And by you keeping an eye on them stepping on the right path, you are stepping on the right path, which also makes whether they step on the right path or not irrelevant in the long run. But whoever the people around you are, you may be slightly blind to some of their motivations, that I want to say, but they are appreciative of the care that you are giving. And there's also a Two of Wands with Six of Cups. There's something that you're planning to recapture, some sense of security, some sense of not nostalgia, but of security that I'm getting from this. But it's almost like the nostalgia bit is just one ingredient, like it's a seed. You're not trying to recapture old days. You're trying to get one flavour of whenever that was integrated into everything else that's going on at the moment and open up the horizon for you. Wonderful open horizon on this card. But you are worried that it's all going to go horribly wrong and that you're not going to get the recognition for it, but you're hoping that the world will work in your favour. Well, with this Wheel of Fortune here in the very near future, the world is going to work in your favour. It just might not exactly look like it. So any appearing bad luck or appearing disaster, I don't even say challenge, I want to say appearing disaster or appearing bad luck that comes to you reasonably soon, that's a blessing in disguise. Because if that didn't happen, then the next thing wouldn't happen, and more importantly, the next thing after that wouldn't happen. And I'm not being metaphorical there, I'm seeing the three events. Because the one gets you to the other, gets you to the final one. So in the potential future, you have got to make balance, and you don't have to rush ahead because you have got that strength to move forward. You don't have to rush ahead because you are going to get the recognition that you require and also be making magic in places where you weren't expecting it to be. Again, the balance, again, the progress and the new beginning. So the big event here is this tower moment that you're coming to with your realization of, I will take up this duty and enough now, enough. I'll do it, enough. And calling something to an end, encouraging somebody to, where's that Eight of Cups gone here? Encouraging somebody to step away from the path that they're on, because I also think that, their path sort of affects you, but doesn't entirely affect you. Let's have a look at the final outcome. There's debate, but you're going to win it, and you're going to find out so much of yourself in the process here, and you will get refreshed by it. There's certain swords that you can just put down and say, no, that's it, no more. Because you've been called into this sort of role before, haven't you? Of the taking charge, laying down the law, cutting things out, making sure that everything is running correctly. But you've also put the swords down before, once you had experienced a form of rebirth, and your ships came in then. So remember that. Your ships came in then. They should come in now. So let's have a look at we have... get them the right way up. The Archangel Michael, who you know the various meditations with Michael or what have you, he is about protection. So independent guardian, all again. I stand for justice and truth. I live from my integrity. I think we've discussed that already. So step out of your comfort zone, i.e. take on board this duty. Have faith. Work towards truth. You are standing firm. But also, you are standing firm, not racing ahead. Remember wherever that King of Wands was. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? that you are standing firm, not racing forward. You don't have to move fast. You're not changing the space of your location, you're changing the nature of your location. But okay, you're not changing your coordinates, you're changing the decoration, so to speak. So act with moderation. The world will be supporting you, angels of the four directions. You have protection and you are operating with protection. You are expanding your reach right now. And that which has been shrouded is going to be revealed. Just keep listening to your insight, keep listening to your imagination, keep listening to those thoughts that go, oh, what if I did such and such? What if I did it this way? What if I did it that way? Write them down, because here 1 minute, gone the next. Write them down, and then afterwards you can review them and go, oh, there might be something in here. You may be taking control, but control has to be, you're expanding your control, but control has to be with moderation, not with carelessness, because you are in that parental role, mother role, father role, just parental. You are nurturing, but it's also time to put things to an end. This may well be a family issue that's going on here. Move beyond ancestral patterns, because we've already had a mention of the ancestors, but there is a rebirth coming for you here, and there's the contracts that you have with people, soul contracts, or just understandings of behavior. They are changing, but again, the ancestors are turning up, and you will be achieving power and respect through this. This is exactly what you've been intended to do all along. You may be taking on this duty with part of you thinking, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but I've got more than a clue than they have, so it has to be me. That's fine. You are going to learn through this process, and you will know what you're doing by the end of it. And the end of it's not that far away, because, like I say, you're going from one step to the next step to the next step. Okay, and so this taking control business I was on about, this standing up, taking up the duty, putting an end to something, cutting something not even out, cutting it down to size. That's that middle step. Then things get a lot better. There is commitments coming to you. There's the ability to put down the swords. There's seeing your own inner light and moving forward to a place that right now you don't know what it is, because you don't need to. The hermit's wandering off into the darkness here. You don't need to know where you're headed with this. You only need to know what you're going to do to enter that middle step. The rest will take care of itself. So, I hope this meant something to you, Capricorn, because you've got a lot of work, but it looks also like it's a lot of fun in hindsight. I don't think it's a lot of fun going into it, but once it's over, you can dine out on the story later. You can feel really proud of yourself later, not in the sense of pride, the sin, but in a sense of being proud of the accomplishment that you have achieved and that you stood up to the plate. Because this is your point to stand up to the plate. And I think that's what I'll name the reading. So, if it means anything to you, comment down below. Please press subscribe. Keep your eye out for, let me see, I've just done the waxing, so I suppose your full moon reading will come next. And that, with what's going on here, that will be a good reading for you. It's about the energies that are around you that are opposing. So that which lifts you up and that which is pressing you down. So if you're still in that middle step, I think that full moon reading will be quite useful for you. All right? Cheers.